To cap off what became just an incredible weekend, undefeated Seattle Seahawks taking on the 4-2 Cardinals. And what a night of offense we had. You had Kyler Murray, who finished with 427 total yards, 4 touchdowns. You got Russell Wilson, almost 500 total yards, 3 touchdowns, but also 3 costly picks, including the big one in overtime that set up Arizona's game-winning field goal. But Brandon, let's start with you to kick things off. Were you surprised that Kyler Murray went toe-to-toe with Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I'm with you, Jenna. This weekend was awesome for the football fan, sitting back, watching all these awesome games, some great storylines, some great endings. But this game last night, Sunday Night Football, wasn't surprised that Kyler went toe-to-toe with Russell. He's a baller. We know that. And also, he's going against a terrible defense, the 32-ranked defense. 32nd ranked defense in the National Football League. So for that reason, we knew it was going to be a shutout. Nick, you laughed at me last week when I tried to hedge my bet, saying this could be the game that the Seahawks go down. Yeah. You laughed at me, but I knew that this would go down to the last minute, down to the wire, and it did. But it was all about Russell Wilson and those Seahawks. You know, you highlighted how awesome of a game both of these quarterbacks had, but this dude threw 3 picks. My MVP. I gotta praise him when I get an opportunity, but I also gotta hold him accountable. He threw 3 picks, Jenna, Nick, Wouts. That can't happen. You'll lose most of the games you play when you throw 3 picks. And then also I thought the deciding factor was the 4-minute operation. Situational football is critical. 4-minute drill. They were way too conservative. So with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left, they ran the ball 5 times and then punted it back to the Arizona Cardinals. They gave them 52 seconds left, 52 seconds to go in the game, and then Arizona marched down the field. They tie it up, and then they go on to win. You know your defense isn't good. Why do you punt it back to them? Why do you play so conservative? Run, punt it back, and you lose the game. Russell Wilson needs to play better, and they need to do a better job coaching in those spots.
Especially that 3rd and 2 to just hand it off when a first down ices the game instead of getting Russell Wilson out on the edge and allow him to do something. Before I answer Jenna's question, I want to echo what Brandon and Jenna said. Wilds would be agreeing as well, except his Patriots got kicked in their teeth and they're still picking them up off the ground. From about 8 p.m. Saturday night until around midnight last night, that was as good of a 28-hour span of sports as you will ever have. Game 5 of the World Series was one of the best baseball games I've ever seen. The early slate of NFL games, you had the Browns finish and the Lions finish within 90 seconds of each other. It was absolutely spectacular. And then late night, this game plus the World Series going on alongside it. Now about Kyler. I am a little surprised because Kyler did just come off a game where he completed 9 passes. But I am more impressed, Wilds, than surprised, not just because that Kyler did it against the undefeated Seattle Seahawks, but Kyler is up against what is the best case scenario for his career. An undersized former baseball playing quarterback who has really changed the way we look at quarterbacks in the NFL. Can you win a Super Bowl with a mobile quarterback? Well, Russell Wilson did it in year 2. If not for Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray absolutely unequivocally does not go #1 in the draft. It is because of the success of Russell Wilson that people looked at Kyler as an elite NFL prospect. And for him to go not only toe-to-toe, but to Brandon's point, and I give Brandon credit for being fair and honest here, take integrity, 10 out of 10 here, to outplay Russell Wilson, because Russell made some critical mistakes, equaled his interception total for the season in 1 game. And so, yeah, I mean, I was very impressed by Arizona, very impressed by Kyler. And Wilds, if you're Seattle, you got to be anxious, not just about the month of football you have coming up, but how consistently awful that defense is, Wilds.
This is not a Super Bowl team. I'm surprised you guys just won't come out and say it.
Whoa.
Brandon, your Steelers looked great. They're not. They're not. Brandon, I've said it before.
Because of the defense?
They're a sneakerhead with one sneaker. They got one sneaker on. They're like, look at our one sneaker. They're like, guys, you're supposed to have 2 sneakers. Can't give up 519 yards. They're just consistently giving up 500-yard games. And Russell Wilson keeps bailing them out. And Nick, I said this, like, if we're running a race and you want to win and I have to win because a bear is chasing me, you got to stop being like, wow, Wilds is a fast runner. Like, no, I'm doing it to save my life. And we saw one little flawed game in Russell Wilson and they lose. This team is fool's gold. They're half a team. And I feel like no one wants to say it because I don't know why. I'm the only one watching the games.
Well, it's because of Russell Wilson. He covers up their mistakes on that side of the ball.
Right. He doesn't play defense.
And it got worse for them. Griff went down. Their cornerback went down, so they're banged up even more on that side of the ball. You know, it's something that we need to continue to watch. We know that Russell Wilson has to play lights out, Nick, if they want to win the Super Bowl because that defense is bad. But this wasn't a pushover of an offense that they went against. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, who can beat anybody one-on-one. You need to put 3 guys on that guy if you want to slow him down. So it was a challenge for him.
All right, well, obviously we got to talk about the play of the night, by far. Russell Wilson picked off, not great, by Blue Baker. But check out DK Metcalf. This guy got up to 22 miles per hour, covered 114 yards to save the touchdown. An absolutely incredible hustle play, the likes of which you won't see. I mean, look at that. Brandon, how impressive was this?
Oh, my goodness.
I could watch
this.
That's
super impressive. And I heard Colin talk about it yet last night as far as, like, this is the play that they're going to show in high school, in college. This is how you get it done. This is super impressive. It's reminiscent of Terrell Owens, I think, on Sunday Night Football when he was playing for the Dallas Cowboys and he ran past his running back who was off to a 80-yard touchdown. So this was awesome by him. This dude is a freak, Nick.
Yeah, well, Nick, I think if I'm Pete Carroll, I pull DK Metcalf into my office and be like, bad news. We got plenty of offense. We need some defense. We're moving you to the other side of the ball. Sorry. I know it's not in your contract, but it's a decision we got to make.
Bill Belichick would do it.
And speaking of Belichick, this was, Patriot fans will remember, this was eerily reminiscent of the 05 divisional round playoff game against the Broncos. Champ Bailey going the other way, and Ben Watson flies in from off the screen, forces a fumble. By the way, to this day, that should have been a touchback. That was ruling correctly on the field 15 years later. Now, there was a lot of speculation, Jenna, during this game, or right after this play, I should say, could Tyreek Hill have made this play? And it's just unfortunate we'll never get to find out because Patrick Mahomes doesn't throw red zone picks. But I do think he could make the play.
There you go.
I do think Tyreek could have done it.
From a mile and a half away. All right, DK Metcalf, almost as impressive, Nick, as the ageless Tom Brady, the GOAT, doing GOAT-like things once again. So why is Nick still not convinced? We'll tell you. First things first.